Alright, this video we're going to have an update. I did several videos commenting on a lot of the changes the ATF is doing for several different items. 80% receivers, pistol braces, and so on and so forth. So this is a very popular topic. A lot of people are putting out all kinds of videos. There's some actual lawyers that advise you, a lot of information out there. You can spend a whole day looking at these videos and it's highly confusing, okay? And then there's always a thing that there's legal action being taken, these are being updated, and that. So this video, let's just discuss, can the ATF actually do this? So in my discussion, both with FFL holders and other people, the biggest thing is they are pistol braces because there's a lot of them out there. And there was controversy. They made a decision, yeah, they're legal, no, they're not legal, and they went back and forth. And now it's coming to where they're just going to say, if you have a brace on there, put it to your shoulder. If the brace is on the gun, it is a short-barreled rifle. Okay. This is the big one. Well, let's look at something like bump stocks. And I said, well, whatever happened with bump stocks? Okay, I remember they were legal. All right? And I've asked around, and you don't hear people mentioning it much. You know, they're mentioning the current topics, not the past. And I asked the dealer, I said, he goes, well, I'm not sure. He goes, I asked one person, he said they're legal. And I asked another person, they said they're illegal. But if you do an online search with Wikipedia, it will state in there, and it shows you that bump stocks are considered by federal law a machine gun. They've been reclassified. Okay? And it explains the whole process, but what it is, they're considered a machine gun. Okay? And they are illegal. This is what I found. If it's true, that's what I found, that's what it is. You don't find them, you don't see them, you don't hear anybody even talking about them anymore. So now let's go on to the current conundrum with what the ATF is trying to ban. The 80% stuff, like say AR lowers and polymer 80 guns. Okay, these things, like I said in the other video, if they're sold together with the 80% piece, a jig, tooling, and that's considered a firearm. Okay, then this is federal. So what they do is Polymer 80 is still in business. You have to go to the Polymer 80 site and you get the frame, the pins, and the bits of metal that are in an unfinished state. And you must go to a separate company and buy the plastic jig and the drills. A separate company. The same company can't sell them together. Same with, I believe, the AR 80% lowers or whatever. So that's how they kind of got around it. You can still get them. It's a weird little process, but you can still purchase them. Okay? But here's the rub. Some people have told me certain states, okay, this is not everywhere, certain states have passed a state law that says whether you've made them and assembled them into a gun or you have them in the kit form. Say you bought it 3 years ago, you got the kit, you never put it together, you never cut it or nothing. You still must take these and have a serial number put on. They're considered a firearm. Now see, this is where there's confusion in that, yes, in terms of the federal thing or selling them, they have to be sold separately, okay, but you can still buy them. But in some states and locales, they are finished, unfinished, whatever, considered a firearm. See, so this is where, you know, people have contacted me and told me this. This is where, you know, it's going, or this is something they have to deal with in their state. So, again, this is where confusion and everything is. You know, you can still buy them And like I said, what happens if you bought the thing and put it on a shelf and it's been sitting there 5 years ago when there was no controversy? You may have a problem. Now we go to, in the big topic, the pistol braces. I did a video on that. I did a couple videos on it, and it's changing every day. I guess the way this looks is if the ATF changes it, if you got a pistol brace or anything set up that where a pistol brace could be readily attached, it's going to be declared a short-barreled rifle. Okay, and unless you change a configuration, barrel length, or remove that type of brace in that and just like put a tube with a cap on it that can't have a brace attached, okay, you are going to be in violation, or you have to have it registered as a short barrel rifle. Okay, now what's happened with this, and I seen, like last week, there has been an injunction filed in the courts that the ATF has not made the final decision, but the injunction, I guess, stops the ATF from enforcing this or prosecuting the companies, prosecuting the customers who have bought the product. So there's all this legal mumbo jumbo going on, and the fact that today is election day, everything's up in the air until they see the results or what mayhem is going to happen after today with the midterm elections. But the bottom line is, if the current administration wishes to enforce this, much like bump stocks, it's probably going to happen, okay? A lot of people are saying, well, gun rights advocates and these different organizations have filed lawsuits and are suing, trying to stop this. And that may be true, but it changes on a daily basis, okay? And it gets complex because some people explain the laws and what happened, and it's like when they made these decisions and pushed it to the Supreme Court, if the Supreme Court throws it out or kicks it back without making a decision, then whatever the decision of the lower court is what stands. So it's a complex thing. What to do or whatever, I don't know. Okay, and it's up there, but eventually, will the ATF get its way to change the rulings? They can and they have. It's just really confusing. And I get comments where people say, either you do this or comply or you will be in violation of the law. Now, I don't know if that's ATF agents sending these comments and putting them on my videos. I have no idea. And a lot of these people that place these comments, if you trace them back, it's just a name. They have no channel. They don't post videos. It's like these just, you have no idea who it is. I don't even know if they're subscribers. Okay? So, don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see how all of this turns out. But what's happening is they're changing the rulings and leaving the door open. I really don't believe they're going to come and search your house, though there have been videos where they do in some states because of laws about gun trafficking or whatever. If you buy a whole bunch of handguns in a short period of time, I've seen the videos, Iraqi vet had it and several other people, that ATF and the local law enforcement shows up to your house and says, we would like to see if you still are in possession of these firearms, because they're trying to get you on a gun running, gun trafficking type of law that's in some states. Not everywhere, some states. So a lot of these changes are going to leave the door open to where it can come around and bite you in the ass. And generally it's like, say you had something, you never did the paperwork, you got an AR pistol with a brace on it, and go to the range or something, it's in your car, and you get stopped for some reason. You're in an accident. You have a tail light or something out, or for some reason the police have to search your car for some suspicion. Okay, and they find this. You may find you will get in trouble. So that's kind of how it works. I don't believe they're just going to send out thousands upon thousands of agents to search everyone and try to find this. But also be warned, I heard another thing, another legal thing, that they're using a ploy with background checks. I guess for people under the age of 21, they're trying to pass a law where these people have a more in-depth background check, and if there's any question, somehow they ask you to submit your address more or less, so they have more exact information about who you are and where you are, and then you can be tracked and observed. So they're doing a lot of sneaky stuff in a backdoor way. Okay, so have to wait and see. All I can say is be a little bit more careful as time goes on.